everyone, and welcome to our podcast. Today, we are discussing the book Springer International Handbooks of Education, Handbook of Using Virtual Exchange Across Disciplines, Building Global Citizens from Home, edited by Kelly Tzoumis and published by Springer Nature. The book is expected to be released in late spring, April 2026. I am Henry Fowler, Associate Professor of Mathematics at Navajo Technical University, proudly serving from Chinle, Arizona campus on Navajo Nation. Navajo Technical University's main campus is in Crown Point, New Mexico. Today, I am joined by authors of the chapter titled Global Learning in Statistics and Data Science, Enhancing the Discipline Through Virtual Exchange. I would like to invite our co-authors to introduce themselves by sharing their names, titles, and universities. Megan?
Hello, my name is Megan Mako. I am a senior lecturer at the Warrington College of Business at UF, the University of Florida. Ricardo, would you like to introduce yourself now?
Thanks, Megan. Well, my name is Ricardo Lopez. I'm a math professor at USFQ here in Quito, Ecuador. Pablo, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am Pablo Burneo. I am an industrial and system engineering professor, also at USFQ in Quito, Ecuador. Lee, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Lee Fawcett. I'm a reader in statistics and data science and Associate Dean for Transnational Education at Newcastle University in the UK.
Thank you. To begin our conversation, I would like to ask, how did this collaboration come about and how do you become collaborative partners for this virtual exchange project, Megan?
So it started out with me answering a request on COIL. I believe it was a COIL network by Ricardo, looking for a statistics instructor to collaborate with. And I started working with him in his courses. And also Lee Fawcett visited our university and met our director of global learning, Dr. Paloma Rodriguez. And she introduced me or connected me to Lee, and I was working with them individually. And I thought it would be a lot easier on my part if we could, and a more rich experience if we could start all to work together, along with Hector Hernandez from Monterrey Tech. Ricardo, would you like to tell about the start of the collaboration?
Sure, Megan. I was really lucky to find Megan as a partner, firstly, because I was looking for a partner for a while. I didn't had too much success trying to implement a COIL experience with my students. And then, well, Megan contacted me, and then we started to work on these virtual exchange experiences for our students. And we found that it was a really good tool to engage our students in learning more about statistics and data science. Afterwards, it was Megan's initiative, as she said, to gather us all. And we are inviting more people to join our project. For example, Pablo is now here because I like to work with him here at USFQ, and I know he loves to teach, so he was pleased to join our team too. Pablo, what do you say?
Yeah, I can say something here. When we were talking with Ricardo, he told me about all the amazing work they were doing with Lee and Megan. So I got really interested. And as I had a lot of interest in my students to become more global citizens or students, and this fit perfectly. And also the idea of communicating with different cultures was on my mind. So I think it fit perfect the timing when we were talking and discussing these new ideas.
Lee, would you like to add in?
Yeah, thank you, Megan. So in my global role at Newcastle University, I really wanted to push our involvement in virtual exchange as a robust, sustainable option for our students to gain vital global skills. In 2022, I think, I undertook a 6-week virtual exchange training course with the University of Florida. And through that, I met Paloma Rodriguez. And through Paloma, I was introduced to Megan, as Megan said. And then I joined a virtual program that Megan had already established on the topic of data ethics. And that was something that was lacking in my own statistics and data science curriculum. And pretty much everything has grown from there to this big collaboration that we've got now, which is amazing.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Summary. Thank you. This collaboration was intentionally designed to bridge disciplines, cultures, and institutions. Through virtual exchange, you created a learning environment where students could apply data science concepts while engaging with diverse global perspectives. We will move into our first question. Based on your chapter, what impact did this virtual exchange have on the subject matter of your course, Megan?
So the virtual exchange allowed me to put a focus on communication, and communication not just to their peers that are taking the same class and using the same vocabulary and language that they are and the same experiences, but to explain statistics to someone who is taking a different course, who is learning statistics, but maybe not in the same exact course that they are, and having to explain that at a level so that everyone understands what's going on. Ricardo?
Thanks, man. Well, on my end, this virtual exchange was quite a surprising experience for my students because for a non-native speaker of English speaker, this is quite a challenge, but it's been a nice challenge. My students are always very committed to do the work, which is sometimes not that easy in a statistics class to get them engaged and to see what they can do with all the tools that we teach them in the classroom. So when they have to explain that to students from other universities, they have this curiosity about, well, what are they gonna say? How am I gonna express all this technical stuff, all these technical results and the procedures they've been through when they finish their tasks? And it's been rewarding for them and rewarding for me. And most of all, I keep learning from them because their feedback always help us all as a team to improve our activities and get them to engage more and learn more about statistics and data science. What about you, Pablo?
I think one of the most amazing things was putting our students in some different field where they were comfortable, because communicating science is not just about translating some information to people that more or less know what you are talking about. So when they had to speak in English, convert their ideas into some applicable or more understanding way of presenting information, this gave my students from different perspectives on how can we improve processes. As industrial and system engineers, we are always looking numbers, but sometimes we miss the idea of that the collaborative part will be as useful as the numbers. So mixing data science communication in different context perspective was one of the most enriching parts of this collaboration. What about you, Lee?
Well, for my students in statistics and data science, their programs are often so rigid and tightly packed with technical content that there's often little space for soft or transferable skills, including global skills. For example, developing intercultural competencies. And I think this is such a shame, as such skills are vital for students in this day and age. So I think being able to give my students the option to collaborate globally has been wonderful. And as we discuss in the book chapter, the way we do statistics and data science can absolutely be influenced by geography and culture. And it's important for our students to realize this, even in a subject which is often seen as completely objective or fixed or static. And my students have found it fascinating to work with students from other countries, especially when discussing the social and cultural intricacies around a topic like data ethics.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for those insights. What we're hearing is that virtual exchange transforms statistics and data science from purely technical discipline into applied collaborative experience. Wonderful. Question number 2, what might have been missing in teaching your discipline if virtual exchange had not been included? Megan?
To me, one of the big differences is this exposure to multiple perspectives that being involved in the virtual exchange allows us to see situations from different geographies and different cultures, to think about different vocabulary that might be involved. For example, this semester, one student was explaining La Nina and El Nino and its effect on Ecuador weather. And the map was shifted different from the way that people in the US would normally see a map. And with the Pacific Ocean as the main focus. And I thought that was a wonderful way of just shifting focus to make us think about other variables that might be involved in an analysis that if you're only thinking from one cultural perspective, you may not think of. And so where others might think that multiple perspective is not important in statistics, I think it is highly important and something that we should always be encouraging our students to consider when they're doing analyses.
Well, on my end, when it comes to learning statistics and data science, students don't only need to master the technical content. We've found that they also need to develop digital fluency, teamwork abilities, communication skills, which is what we talk about in our chapter. And without the virtual exchange, these broader competencies tend to remain confined to the classroom with limited real world exposure. So, what this virtual exchange experience has done is expand our students' horizons. It actively enhances students' engagement in these non-technical skills, which are really important for their jobs, and they are highly valued in today's professional and work environment. So I think that this has been done only through this virtual exchange because it also has globalized their experience. Now they can be global citizens and feel it when they have to express and communicate with other students. Pablo, what about you?
Building on what Ricardo was mentioning, I think the virtual exchange expanded the possibilities our students gather through their university experience. Why I'm saying this is because without them realizing that directly, talking to different partners from different parts of the world, they start making these long-lasting ideas or experiences that someday in the future they will connect and understand that context matters when they are building information and trying to interpret the information. So when they talk to peers from all over the world, they realize that when mentioning some statistics or information, the context they're facing will change how you are perceived or how the information is perceived. So this is one of the biggest things that they gather doing an international thing, but and that without the virtual exchange would not be possible. Lee, can you tell us from your perspective, please?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So I think my students would have missed out on developing general global skills for sure. Not many of my students can participate in physical mobility opportunities, such as study abroad, mainly because of financial implications. And I think probably the main global skill is linked to the subject, right? So seeing statistics and data science through the lens of others, especially those from other backgrounds, and realizing that there are cultural differences in the way we do statistics and data science and the way we might interpret results.
All right, thank you, team. What a fantastic way to bridge together. Without virtual exchange, students may have missed the global and collaborative dimensions of data science. Thank you to our authors for sharing their important work, and thank you to our audience for joining us in this conversation on global learning, data science, and the power of virtual exchange. Do you, do you have any final conclusion, team? Megan?
Virtual exchange in statistics and data science opens doors to global communication and collaboration among the students and the faculty that is a door worth opening. It is extremely powerful to be able to work with colleagues who are passionate about teaching and to be able to have our students share and communicate and learn from each other as exceptional value that is very hard to measure.
Any other participants about their last conclusion about their virtual exchange and their experience?
I would like to invite more faculty to join these kind of initiatives, this virtual exchange, because as Lee said, this opens one more opportunity for our students to engage, to learn more from other cultures, and to have a complete curriculum, which is not actually it is not actually in the regular curriculum of a statistic class. It has a broader a spectrum for them, something more wide to learn from. So I would like to invite more people to join this type of experiences. Maybe Lee, please.
Sorry, yeah, I was just going to say, and to second what Megan said, actually, it's been just as great an experience for me, and I think for the faculty and the staff involved, as it has been for the students. And I think over the last few years, I really feel like I've developed globally as well through virtual exchange. And sometimes you start out and you don't really know how it's going to go, and you sort of guide the students through it, but also you're guiding each other through it as well. And you learn from each other. And I think year on year, the virtual exchange gets better because the faculty learn more about how to run a successful virtual exchange.
I can relate to the words you're saying, Lee. I think the experience does not only nurture the develop of our students' competencies, it also develops ours as teachers. And with this, will also help us to help our students with a more global perspective that will enhance education.
I thank you for your thoughtful insights. As highlighted in your chapter, these experiences not only strengthening technical skills, but also cultivate global citizens who are responsible and effectively work with data in the interconnected world. So appreciate your presence today. Thank you so much.